My name is Richard. I'm 76 years old. The reason I'm sitting in front of this camera today is this. If you have a child, never do what I'm about to tell you. My daughter doesn't talk to me anymore because of my relationship with her. I'm here today so you don't make the mistakes I made. Parents with adult children will understand me because when they grow up, it's not like it used to be. First, I want to ask you a question. When was the last time you had a long father-daughter conversation? Write it in the comments. As for my story, my daughter hasn't spoken to me in 3 years. Not because she lives far away. Not because we had some big dramatic fight. But because one day she looked at me and said, "Dad, I'm done. I'm tired of trying to be good enough for you." And now, sitting alone in this house, I finally understand what I did. I criticized her throughout her entire life. In every report card, every achievement, every choice she made, I always found something wrong. I thought I was helping her. I thought I was making her better. I was wrong. I was just pushing her away. And by the time I realized what I was doing, she was already gone. Her name is Sarah. She's 48 now. And she was the kind of daughter most fathers would dream of. Smart, talented, kind-hearted. But I couldn't see any of that. I only saw where she fell short. The points where she could do better. The things she needed to fix. I thought I was helping her. I thought I was preparing her for a tough world. I was wrong. I was just pushing her away from me. Let me introduce you to my daughter first. Sarah was born in 1976. She was my first child. And from the moment she came into this world, I had plans for her. Not dreams, plans. I was going to raise her to be exceptional. She would be strong. She would never settle. She would always want more. And I did that. I pushed her and pushed and pushed until there was nothing left between us. When she was 7, she came home with a test paper. She got 95 out of 100. She was so proud. She ran in through the door, waving the paper. "Dad, look, I got an A," she said. You know what I said? "Well, what happened to the other 5 points?" That's what I said. I didn't say, "Well done." I didn't say, "I'm proud of you." I asked about the 5 points she missed. I watched her smile fade from her face. I watched her fold up the paper and walk away. And I thought I was teaching her not to settle. I was actually teaching her that nothing she did would ever be good enough. This story I'm telling you might seem like a small incident, but even tiny incidents create big consequences. This became a pattern. Good job, but that was my phrase. Good job, but you could have done better. Good job, but what about next time? Good job, but don't get complacent. I found something to criticize in every achievement. I caught a flaw in every success. I thought I was keeping her humble. I thought I was keeping her driven. I was actually making her feel like a failure. In high school, she made the honor roll. 4 years in a row. Most parents would be thrilled. I asked why she wasn't first. She joined the debate team, won regional competitions. I asked why not national. She played piano, performed in recitals. I pointed out the one wrong note. She volunteered at an animal shelter every weekend. I told her she needed to focus more on her studies. Every achievement came with a correction. Every moment of pride was overshadowed by a lesson about needing to do more. She got into college, a good college. I asked why not Ivy League. Nothing was ever enough. I told myself I was doing this for her. I thought the world was tough, and I was preparing her. But that wasn't the truth. The truth is, I was living my life through her. My father never saw me as good enough either, and instead of breaking that cycle, I continued it. Let me tell you about her college graduation. She graduated with honors, got an engineering degree. She was one of 3 women in her program. She worked so hard. After the ceremony, she came to me and said, "Dad, I did it." You know what I said? Now the real challenge begins. Don't ruin your career. That's what I said on her graduation day. I didn't say, "I'm proud of you." I didn't say, "You're amazing." I gave her a warning. I saw her face change. I saw her shut down. She just nodded and left. Her mother pulled me aside later and said, "Why can't you just be happy for her?" I said I was happy, but I never showed it. Never. She got a job, a good job, at an engineering firm. She moved up. And every time she called to tell me about a promotion, about a project, I found something to worry about. Are you saving enough money? Are you working too hard? Are you sure this is the right move? I disguised my criticism as concern, but it was still criticism. It was still telling her she was doing it wrong. Then she met someone, got engaged, and I didn't like him. He was a teacher. Not an engineer, not a doctor. A teacher. I thought she could do better. I told her that. Multiple times. Are you sure? You're going to struggle financially. He doesn't have ambition, I said. I criticized the man she loved, and she married him anyway. I went to the wedding. I gave a speech. And even in that speech, I couldn't just celebrate her. I talked about how marriage is hard work and she needed to be prepared. Her mother elbowed me, told me to sit down. But the damage was already done. I saw Sarah's face. She wasn't hurt anymore. She was just tired. They had kids, 2 beautiful grandchildren I barely know. When Sarah brought them to visit, I criticized her parenting. You're too soft. They need more discipline. That's not how you do it. Every visit was filled with more criticism, more judgment. The visits got shorter, then less frequent, then stopped completely. My grandchildren don't know me. They know I'm grandpa, but they don't know me, and that's on me. 3 years ago, Sarah called me, said she wanted to talk. We met at a coffee shop, and she told me something I'll never forget for the rest of my life. Dad, I love you, but I don't like being around you. Every conversation with you makes me feel like I'm a failure, like nothing I do is good enough, and I can't do this anymore. I have kids now, and I won't let them feel the way I felt. She took a breath and continued. Do you know what it's like to be a child who's afraid to show their parent a report card? To dread family dinners because you know your life choices will be questioned? I'm 45 years old and I still hear your voice in my head telling me I'm not good enough. Then she said, I'm not asking you to change. I'm just telling you I'm done. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I tried to argue. I defended myself. I said I pushed her to be better. She said to me, better than what, Dad? Better than me? I was never good enough for you just as I am. And she left. It's been 3 years. I've tried to reach out, emails, messages. Sometimes she responds, short, polite, but distant, like I'm someone she used to know. Here's what I learned too late. Children don't need perfect parents. They need parents who are present. Parents who see them for who they are, not who you want them to be. They don't just need correction. They need celebration. They need to know that your love isn't conditional on their achievements. That being your child is enough, that they are enough. I never gave that to Sarah. I turned my love into something that had to be earned, and she got tired of trying. If you have children, if you're a parent, you need to hear this. Every time you say good job, but you're telling them they're not good enough. Every time you focus on what went wrong instead of what went right, you're teaching them to look at themselves with a critical eye. Every time you push them to be better without celebrating where they are, you're creating distance. And one day, they'll stop trying to climb that wall. They'll just walk away. Your child brought home a B. Celebrate it. They tried something and failed. Tell them you're proud they tried. They made a choice you don't agree with. Love them anyway. Because the relationship is more important than being right. The connection is more valuable than the correction. You can't make someone love you by criticizing them. You just push them away. I thought I was building Sarah's character. I destroyed our relationship. I thought I was preparing her for the world. I actually made the world unsafe for her, even home. But home should be where you're enough, where you're celebrated, where you can breathe. I turned home into an exam she kept failing. I'm 76 years old. Sarah is 48. She has a beautiful life, a happy marriage, wonderful children, a successful career. She has everything I wanted for her. But I'm not part of that life. I'm just the critical voice she had to silence to be happy. And that's on me. Don't make my mistake. Don't wait until they stop calling to realize what you've been doing. Don't let your desire to improve them destroy your relationship with them. They don't need another critic. The world will do that plenty. They need you to be their safe haven, their cheerleader, the person who sees them and loves them for who they are. If you're doing what I did, stop today. Call your child. Tell them you're proud of them, not for what they've achieved, for who they are. And say it meaning it. Because if you keep criticizing, one day they'll stop answering. And you'll be where I am, alone with your regrets. This channel shares stories from people like me, people who learned important lessons too late. If this story meant something to you, subscribe. Leave a comment. Tell me about your relationship with your family, your parents, or your children. Sarah, if you ever see this, I'm sorry. You were always enough. I just couldn't see it. I hope someday you'll let me tell you that face to face. I love you. Don't make my mistake. Love your children for who they are, not for who you want them to be, while you still can.